Shasta right now with a very special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Red or Katim.
And I'm Eric, the Dream Giver, and we are doing a podcast style live stream right now. Uh, Outside of the woods, this is kind of first time doing a podcast style interview, but it's fun. Maybe one day we be like big as Joe Rogan or something. That would be funny.
That's our dream. Joe Rogan, put us on your show, please. We'll talk about metaphysics. So this is my third interview with random people throughout, especially California, that like to interview me. So the reason I like to be interviewed is because unfortunately I've gone through a tragedy in my life, and after my brother got murdered, my son got taken from me. At only 5 days old, I was grieving my brother pretty hard. His name's Gavin. And unfortunately, I freaking was not in the right headspace to make really sound decisions. And so they forced me to remove my rights, thinking that there was any honor in the system whatsoever. And I fought the battle for about 3 years. And just after doing everything that you're supposed to do and going above and beyond the call of duty, nothing I did was good enough because of this right here, because we live out in the woods and travel and everything, and the government really thinks that's a threat. And so even though we're just being a peace and everything, so had I had a support system, it probably would have been different. But I didn't listen to my gut, my intuition. I was grieving so hard, so I fought for 3 years. But when COVID hit, they removed him from visits for 120 days. I was getting in trouble with the county next door. He was in like 3 counties away. So, long story short, there's so many legal matters piled up on top of my health issues, my stomach issues, took an all-time decline, and I developed seizures on top of it just because I'm not used to somebody being in my space bullying me 24/7. Even being bullied as a kid, I didn't get bullied 24/7, with these like people right next to me. Like, ah! So I got really super, super sick, like pretty much left for my life. And I started traveling again. I traveled for about 3 or 4 years before I was there for 3 years. And, like, obviously, I'm sure everybody would probably say this. You probably say this too. When you go back out on the road, there's a benevolence that is very necessary. Creed that takes over, and like you understand, this choice. I feel like consciously either to jump into this creed, into this channel, into this spirit valve, or to go to get shwilly and go fuck off your life. It seems to be a very black and white. I know nothing's really black and white. We're all gray, right? But like it seems like that. But you can choose how much. Are you going towards this way or this way? It's not all black and white. But like, I felt like it was necessary after all the torture of the government, even though my brain was all fucked up, to freaking, they did all kinds of shit, like not just like psychological, like to my body and shit too. They did all sorts of shit that was just like I couldn't even pretty much talk about because it sounds so like illegal and false. It's so crazy. But yeah, they did. And so when I got back out on the road, I was like, I need to do this. I need to like find the spirit again. I don't know if I can find it the way I found it in California in 2013, but I'm gonna try. And so I got back out on the road and I showed up at Missouri, but I was like a little too late for that gathering, for that rainbow gathering. So I picked up 2 kids there and we headed out to Idaho for the Knot gathering of 2020. I'll say right now I'm an Idaho kid. I'm very proud about that. But there's a lot of controversy in the Rainbow family about that. I would say the majority of the Rainbow family in 2020 really thought we were gonna die if we went to the woods and like touched each other and shit and like did normal rainbow things. And like I was convinced that spirit was far more powerful than anything physical, including biological warfare. And I felt like if we've all prayed together that we could overcome this tyranny, this oppression. That's really what it comes down to with it. And so it's a belief system, this false belief system proliferating. So in the process, I was like, this is necessary. We need to be here in Iowa. This is going to help get me back to the spiritual value I had before when I first started out on the road. But again, there was all this controversy and all this hype. And so we got there to the Idaho woods, and it was just a garden. It was just pristine, and it was at 7,000 feet. There's 5 points when we got there, and freaking like the Nimapu, it's their Sipapune, it's their gateway. It's their sacred creation grounds. And it wasn't old growth per se, but it was very close to that. sure there's at least a few old girls, or like maybe second girls. And it's just gorgeous place. There's water running by the freaking main meadow, and there was the marsh, and it was just so beautiful. And like freaking, I'm just like, man, we're really in this garden. But obviously, the Nemafu were very angry at us, and obviously it was COVID, so like nothing was getting done right. And so, traditionally, Rainbow Family, we're supposed to come into each tribe. That's the whole point. We started and we meet in America. It's so that we go to the tribes a month in advance, usually like end of May, and we go and we pray with them. And we say, hey, like, we want to be about this in a good way. What's the ceremony we need to do so that we are going about this rainbow gathering in a good way? That's the way traditionally rainbow has been done. And I would say even before 1972. And that's the way we're supposed to be doing it. We come onto the land and we pray with the people. The people are the indigenous, wherever that is in the world. And so we don't really do that anymore. So from what I heard, what I was told was that there was a weird kid. Only one kid went in and talked to the tribe. That's like, no, you don't do that. That's like really bad juju. You got to bring a group. You got to bring like a representation, and that's not even the right word either. But so all this controversy went down, and we had a whole council for freaking 5 days. I'll tell you the story of what happened in council just because it's so important. I feel like spiritually to help ground yourself in. But basically, what happened was that we fought in this council. And crazy, and I mean, there's 75 rainbow people there, and there's like 9 Native Americans, and like we're just going back and forth. People are talking about 5G killing the natives, and I mean, it was crazy. So it was going on, and we get to, I believe, the fourth or the fifth day, and I just seen my cousin after 4 years, and so I was like channeling a lot of energy, Atlantean energy in, really tripping out over that. And this lady comes up, this native Nemafu elder comes in, and she says we don't really understand what's going on, but we're gonna sing and we're gonna pray about it. There was like not really like English like communication and shit, like just conversing and shit. And so she started singing on her medicine drum in Nemafu, and we all, were mystified. We all got really quiet, all of us, and we just listened to this song, and I can hear it in my head right now actually. And like she was singing the song with it in Nemafu, and like after about like I don't know 10 minutes into the song, I got this feeling like a probably half an hour long song, but like she got about 10 minutes into it, and suddenly I was up in the spirit realm. I was seeing up there in the higher dimensions, and the beings came in, like the higher dimensional beings, and they looked at the Rainbow Family, looked at the Nemafu, and they were like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys fighting? You guys are all one people, one tribe. Like you guys are all chosen. You guys are all scattered people coming back together. Like why are you doing this? This is really dumb." And so again, not judging but understanding like the reflection of what was going on. And so these higher dimensional beings were like, look, you guys need to stop these shenanigans. You guys need to learn to get along. But of course it's all free will choice, right? So all of a sudden in this conversation on the astral dimensions, like the Nemafu elders, the fallen warriors, and the rainbow elders and the fallen warriors, they looked at each other. They saw each other like maybe for the first time, eye to eye. Looked each other in the eye. Multiple people looked each other eye to eye at the same time in spirit realm. And all of a sudden, just something happened. Everybody looked each other in the eyes, and they realized that they were one tribe and they were one people, and there was no reason to fight them. We need to fight the man. We need to fight the government, not each other. And so this moment happened where we all had this namaste recognition. And in this namaste recognition, we all realized like there was no reason to fight. We needed to dance about it and like shake off all the worry and all the like belligerent and all the crap. And so the Nemafu elders and fallen warriors and the rainbow elders and fallen warriors, they all started dancing together. Just like the prophecy says, where the children of the initiate shall take off their mask in the Kisanobe. Like, same thing, where they start dancing and stuff, and they're getting down, and they're freaking, this went on, I felt like 45 minutes, they're just dancing, and you can hear, like, thunder, music coming down, and they're all dancing together and stuff, and then she simply, when she got done, she walked away. That was the end of council for that day. And so then the following morning, this Nemafu elder comes in, and he's like, you guys did it. Something happened last night. You guys are legit. You guys can stay here. And that was 6 days into the counseling. So this was all the way into like June 30th. So we had like this last day to put tarps up. Literally, it was very last minute. But 200 of us held the fort down in Idaho, and we were in this pristine garden, and about 8 people of the family got stuck in this landslide at this alternate site, while all of us, all Idaho kids, were squabbling so much about this alternate site that happened this year. And so they did. So they got stuck there, and the rest of us held the fort down, held the ceremony down. And Mama Turtle, she came up to me and she said, "Sister, what is it you really intend in this gathering?" And I said, "I want a 40-hour prayer circle. I want us for the next 5 days to drum 8 hours straight every night. And so we get to 40 hours, at least 40 hours." And she said, "All right, it's done." And so Tristan was there, and some of the other brothers were there, and they all agreed with me. And they're like, "Let's do this. Let's hold this 40-hour prayer for the children." Since, like I said, like I'm doing all this to like retain spirit value, and my son being captured. He's in Western Indiana. He was born in 2017. His name's John. So he is being held hostage against his will right now as we speak. I did not sign my rights away in any sort of sound mind in any way. I was completely under duress in every sense of the word. I was out of my mind. I mean, my brother was like 8 years older than me, but he was my twin. I mean, I don't think I can share anything that close with anyone ever again. We were just like this. It's crazy. Smiley too. And so freaking like after all of this, I wanted to do this prayer for my son, and we had done it the year before in 2019 as well. And so I'm like, I gotta keep praying. It's also why I'm here right now. And so like we did the thing. We held the fort down for 5 days straight. Got the 40 hours in. We kept drumming. My cousin was there. Cub was there. Tristan was there. I feel like Wolfpack was there, but I think she actually came later. I just think Zolly was at the end part. There's all these people that I see now and everything. Spicy. Spicy was really holding the fort down. That's how I really got to know Spicy and the Albuquerque crew. And so yeah, so there's all these people there. We all have some kind of promo out in the internet world. I know Spicy and Wolfpack do, so look them up too. Spicy runs a dance studio in Albuquerque. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so I did it. I went to Idaho, and it was very, very, very beyond controversial, but I did it. And so part of why I want to do the interview today is because I like three main things. Like one, first and foremost, obviously my son. The more protests I can get CPS's way. It's the office in Avon, Indiana, I believe. And they stole my son, and like straight up. I don't know how. I don't want to say I don't know how, but doing the whole you gotta research the lawyers thing, that shit doesn't work. I don't feel like it's tried so long. But like, that's just what I'm doing instead. I'm going on a prayer journey everywhere I can go and pray for my son. I feel like that's better than filling out paperwork for the rest of my life. So yeah, if anyone, there's a Donnie Baker, there is a rainbow lawyer out there somewhere in the East Coast. Like, yeah, anyone has any kind of helpful, actual, real legislative stuff they can put that way. And the second thing that I did the interview for is the rainbow lore, like this brother's talking about. Why are we here in Shasta? And what is rainbow? Why is this, like I said, why are we supposed to come in with the tribes first and pray of sage and do all these important things? The reason that we do all this is because the whole point that we're on Earth right now is to reconnect with the nature spirits and the higher dimensionals and the invisible. That's the whole reason that we're literally from our first breath. We're literally a generation, roughly 35 to 45, that is meant to change everything in existence. We're supposed to restructure reality and take us back up into 46 and 2 into higher dimensionality. I believe we're supposed to recreate the longevity codes, the DNA structuring. So there is a serious, real, actual aware, conscious choice, real choice of spirit energy moving right now. I'm not the only person working with ley lines. I'm not the only person going to sacred sites. There's quite a lot of us, and we all feel it. We don't know like necessarily why or what. Like, we can't necessarily articulate it, whether we need to do this. I definitely feel that 100%. We have over here. I don't know if this brother can move it or we're even allowed to do that, but like over here, this way, we have a very sacred medicine wheel that's over 100 years old. There's no coincidences that the family told me to come up here. It's just like I listened to them, and they're like, "Come up here," and I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna figure out when we get there." And so we're here now, and stuff, and we're hanging out. It's a beautiful family. There's only about 7 or 8 of us Sagans here, of course, and we're doing the thing and stuff. So the first thing to be interviewed for was my son, first and foremost. Second thing is the lore, which I'll go into more detail with. And the third thing that I really want to talk about, like me and this brother really want to be on Joe Rogan, is my book, The Generals. I have a book out called The Generals. It's my full name by Katarina McKeagle. Um, I have on my Facebook, Katim Snyder, SNYDER. You can hear a chapter, or sorry, a paragraph of my book. You can get a feeling of why this book I feel like is important. Um, I'm not gonna break the whole book down. That would just be too easy for you guys. You guys gotta go read it for yourselves and find out what happens. But I will say that it is a post-apocalyptic tale about vampires, werewolves, and mutants, and how they save humanity. How ability having psychic powers is necessary to equate existence back into balance with everything. It's a huge reason why I'm here right now. Pretty much the main reason, other than my son, I think they're all connected, correlated together, and so I really feel like this is why this brother wanted to interview me today. Like I want to talk about this, but I don't want anybody to think I have ego when I say this. But my book was written in the darkest moment of my existence, and I did it to not kill myself. And so I feel like that book is that for other people, and I want that book to go out to the world to stop other people. I have too many people, too many teenagers on the reservations are dying. My sister from Occupy Sarah, God rest her soul, she killed herself in Chicago because she think nobody gave a fuck about her. You know what I mean? If I had known where she was, I'd get her a big old hug and be like, I've been thinking about you since I met you, girl. Like, I've been wondering what happened to you. And so, like, it's really necessary, especially for vets, street vets specifically, not. I mean, yeah, foreign like seas vets too, but like us that have fought on the streets and stuff, the tyranny of the government, it's very necessary for us to have a network. And I know this book is the outlet for that. It's very militia oriented. It's a manual what to do when the shit hits the fan. That's what the synopses on the back of it is. Another way you know which book you're getting and stuff. Because when you look at the generals before my search algorithm must be increasing or something. Because when you first looked it up, you get like Pat and General Lee crap. Like, and I'm like, no, that's not my book. And so now it's actually getting more into the thing, and the computer's starting to recognize it more. Somebody bought it on the way here, and they found it in like 5 seconds. So my algorithm's getting better and stuff. You guys go after this video and go super look up Amazon a lot. It'll also increase my algorithm. But like I said, I really want this book to go out. I have a very dear brother of mine I consider a comrade up in Eugene, Oregon. He runs a program called Cahoots. This is actually this really has to do with our brother's spirit that passed recently. Because I don't think he would have died if this program would have been in Arcata. Real talk. This program needs to be implemented by all EMTs and nurses in every city, Albuquerque, Chicago, Cincinnati. There's not a city you can name, you can't name. You know what I mean? Not to name, not to have this program. All cities need this program, and what it is basically is you have to be some sort of state worker, government worker to implement it, the legislative part. But you go talk to the chairman, and I think you have to get signatures. I'm pretty sure, maybe 10,000 signatures. I don't know. You do some mailing thing or some type of situation, canvassing, door to door. But you go and you get signatures, and the legislator, because you are a state worker, you're already an EMT, you're already like officiated that way. They do like an interview or something with the chairman, and what this allows is government funding to buy a building to furnish for street people to freak out in, like literally. Instead of them going to jail, whether they're PTSDing out or they're super drunk or just having a bad day. I think what happened with Spirit was he was drunk. I'm pretty sure. So like that brother wouldn't have just been arrested. I know another brother here. He has to go through that crap too. So that's what I'm saying. Those brothers wouldn't have been sisters too, whoever. But those people wouldn't be arrested and just thrown into jail for jail for jail and have like whatever that is, disorderly conduct charges. Like you would go to this facility, this building, this warehouse, whatever you want to call it, and then you would be able to just like freak out in there and shit, like pull out your hair, whatever you can do, but you'd be allowed to leave in the morning. You wouldn't be like having assault charges or whatever. You would be with actual known brothers and sisters that have also served and have also had mad experience in this that you can feel safe with. Because a big reason that like at least us vets and shit, at least the big reason why we freak out is because we feel like there's nobody that's got our six. I mean, that's what it really comes down to, is we feel like there's not somebody there that really knows and gets us, and that we can protect them the way they protect us. That reciprocity that's so essential. That's a big reason why a lot of street people freak out. A big reason. And so if they have that sense of belonging in this building with like my brother up there in Eugene, for example, you can look this up online. This is a real program. I highly recommend it go out from Eugene. It needs to go out to Seattle and other places too. But I can't just like go to a law building and like do it. That's not how it works. You have to be like an EMT or a nurse or somebody in those fields that have those. I don't know what they're called, a state pass. I don't know what it's called, but they have that thing, the credential license thing, and then that gives them that green card to purchase and stuff. He said that's what it's based on and stuff, because then you talk and you get this government funding because you base it on medical need, basically. And so, Spirit, for example, I almost said Freedom. Spirit, for example, he like was freaking out. You know, the cops didn't want to deal with him. You know, he's a lot stronger than he looks. And like, instead of him getting that assault charge, they would have thrown him into this cahoots place. They wouldn't have ripped his money away from him and thus killing him. Is what I'm getting at. So people live longer through this program as well. So I really think this is a very important program to institute. And my book goes part and parcel with this. Very deeply about how do you live as comrades, you live in society while also being a warrior. It's very important and stuff. Also, ceremony is very big in my book as well. The connection to fire, the connection to music, is a very large theme in my book. And so, like I said, I put a lot of the Rainbow family in it. This video goes out to Charlie Spiller, Smiley. He's been missing for about a year and a half now. We've had people wondering where he is, and not been finding him. It goes out to my brother Nipples. Also, I don't know where he's at. I can't seem to get hold of him either. It also goes out to Sparrow, wherever you are in the world. It goes out to Hummingbird, wherever you are. Goes out to Ninja Kitty down in Oakland. So much fam. Cowboy. I don't think anybody knows who Cowboy is anymore, but he's this blonde brother with this limp. He has really good A, and he's really awesome brother, really smart. So much family, but I put about 100 names in the book. And I also recruit Eminem, Marilyn Manson, Jonathan Davis, and Tool, Maynard in the book. And so it's got the superstars and heavyweights in it. And Marilyn Manson has like lava touch, or like electric lava touch, or this crazy thing like he zaps somebody, and it's like infrared. So it's like he has like this infrared touch, and it like goes like a microwave or some shit. It's really trippy. So I just do all these different things to explore next logical extension to X-Men and what Stan Lee's vision was. Because Stan Lee didn't just randomly write all those comics. He wrote it because this is also what he sees in the future. And so I agree with him. I think there's something's going to happen in the future that's about psychic abilities. And so what's that?
I was just going to. I want to eventually do like a Q&A
Okay,
section.
go.
So the biggest reason I did this podcast is demystify what is rainbow. A lot of the people at home probably never even heard
But you
of
want him to have
rainbow,
heard of it.
or maybe you heard of it and you searching out what's rainbow and you come across this video, and so I want to talk about what is rainbow for all the people who just barely heard of it. Maybe you met a rainbow brother or sister like myself at a gas station or Walmart or something, and say, "What are you guys up to?" "Oh, we're going to a rainbow gathering." And it's like, okay, what is that? Okay, what is rainbow to like the normies at home? Like, how do you describe?
So, Rainbow started traditionally, as far as like facts go or whatever. It's questionable, but it started in 1972 officially. I think beings have always got together in rainbow energy for thousands, if not millions of years. But rainbow is basically the collection of people necessary to pass through the doorway of the Sipapune when the world officially ends and goes into the next world. I can't remember. I think it's the sixth, but we're going from like the fifth to the sixth world now, right now, or something, or fourth to the fifth, depending on which tribe you talk to. And so I think it's fifth or sixth though. And so right now, for me, this is me personally, but like in general, like I'll tell you, fill you on that. It's ceremony. It's rainbow is the hippie Sundance. It's literally the way I look at it, and it's re-tapping into our ancient roots that we've forgotten about how to do ceremony, how to honor our indigenous roots. All of us. It doesn't matter what color you are. And like when we tap into our indigenous roots, it's not about a specific region. It's about the whole world, if not the whole entire freaking universe. Our star seeds, whatnot, basis, that like tapping into is the realization that hey, like whoa, like you look familiar, bro. Like I feel like I've seen you before. What am I getting the state of before? Like that kind of thing. So you're refinding your soul family and stuff. You're re-tapping into I call it like weirdies and freaks, but like you're re-meeting your weirdies and freaks family and stuff. And you're re-getting in touch with all these crazy people because the reason we're all crazy is because we've all sensed the doorway more than the average person. And so Rainbow is a calling for people that sense the doorway that we're about to go through for the end times and go into these higher dimensions. That's what we were all meant to do from our first breath is to frequency the earth and to go into these higher dimensions. That's why we're all here right now. And so Rainbow is a way to get into that. Now, unfortunately, like truth be told, in the like I said, we don't really go to the tribes and go about figuring out the ley lines like Badger did and being in a good way with it. But that's what we're ultimately supposed to be like leading towards, and then going to sweat and ceremony afterwards. That's why we're doing this in Shasta right now. Um, and so traditionally, that's what it's about. But unfortunately, a lot of people turn it into a party scene. It is not specifically LGBTQ. A lot of people get that twisted. It's very LGBTQ friendly, but it's not just that exclusively. There is fairy camp and all that stuff. But we'll
So
go.
yeah, like so a lot of people hear rainbow, and generally associate the rainbow with the rainbow flag
Right.
that's generally
Unfortunately, yeah.
associated
Uh-huh.
with LGBT community, right? Like, oh, you go on the rainbow? What is that? Bunch of
Right.
gays in the
Right.
woods? No, rainbow is actually reason the LGBT community adopted the rainbow as a representation because of representation of diversity
Yes,
and
exactly.
the representation of diversity of different colors, and even though they're different, they're still beautiful. Even if you are a different color than the norm, you're still beautiful.
Yes.
And and what create most beauty is all the different colors
Yes.
and how they
That's where
create
it comes
beauty, how
together.
they all come together. So the rainbow are not all one thing.
Right.
Rainbows are
Not
not
at all.
all hippies.
Right.
Rainbows are not all non-hippies. Rainbows are not all criminals, which is a bigger thing we need to recognize. So definitely a great deal of people, you know,
It's a meeting ground.
that are
A
done
melting
maybe
pot.
done put things are questionable in the past that could be considered to be outlaw or forbidding or very taboo in society, but they're not all like that.
Right.
Not all,
Yeah, don't generalize. Yeah.
you don't want to generalize. So like there's a whole out there of rainbow being a what you were saying, your family, the government painted as a some type of
Terrorism.
terrorism
Yes.
group, right?
Yes.
Yes. And there are definitely people that are associated with rainbows that are
Right. But
terrorists.
so too interned in the system in Babylon.
Yeah,
There's good and bad in all things. Vampires, werewolves, humans, dragons. Like,
definitely there's been a rainbow person that committed act terrorism.
right.
I'm not saying denying that, but I'm not saying that.
Having a child's
But that
not.
doesn't speak for all the
Right.
rainbows.
Right.
That person that decided that he was going to go crazy and commit terrorism, that doesn't speak for the majority. Most majority of rainbows are just here. They came together because it's a 4th of July weekend, and most people go have cookouts and barbecues and camp outs on 4th of July weekend. So we are just a bunch of people following the tradition of 4th of July, having a camp out with our family on the 4th of July.
Right.
And that's
what
really what we are doing. We
Yeah.
are literally just having a camp out with our family. The
Yeah.
family.
We're up in the ante now, though, brother. So
You know,
you got some real fire tenders around you and everything right now. do what we gotta do in a proper ceremonial, sacred way.
And we do everything, and we spend a lot of time making sure we do things correctly.
And reacclimation.
And it's really hard to get 10,000 people to agree about anything. So it literally take days, weeks, years for us to figure out what we do, because you get you get anybody to agree on anything is hard,
It's so
especially
crazy
ten
hard.
thousand people,
But that's why it's so
5,000
beautiful
people.
because we find these compromises that you wouldn't even know existed otherwise. It
You
makes it
know,
so beautiful.
and getting the government and the nations and the firemen to all just agree to let us do it, even though it's like even though we have a bad rep on social media and thing. Well, most rainbow people, you put a camera in their face, they will probably punch you,
Are you serious?
or at
I
least
went
be
to school
really
for
mad,
anthropology. I love it. You can
or
interview
or
me all you want. I get
or
lots
get
of hits too.
very
I'm a
like
redhead.
they
Hi.
probably like try to steer your camera or something, or like get really angry if you try to
Yeah,
put them
people
on.
don't like their faces taken and shit. They feel like it's like a spiritual devaluing or something bizarre like that. Like me, I'm the opposite. Like I saw a Mother Isis statue. That's like my connection to the goddess and stuff. To me, like it's okay if you're in a store, you're a Babylon. I'm allowed to take a picture of that. You know what I mean? But then somebody was like, "Oh, well, we were in ceremony. You're not supposed to take a picture," or like medicine or whatever. But if
Um,
somebody's in a store in Babylon or somebody's at a rainbow and they perceive it as a party, as a family camp out for the 4th of July, then there's nothing wrong with having your picture taken. And there's nothing wrong with taking a picture of a statue because you're trying to honor that thing, that being, that whatever it is, their energy that they're
and
about, whatnot. I don't think it's it.
and that's why I
I
want to.
get why some
That's
people
one
don't
of
like
the
it.
things I want to do is some type of form of social media,
Yeah.
uh, digital inspired gathering where we invite family or
But they've already been
whatever,
doing that for home, bro. It's time for us to come back, boots on the ground.
because because if you can't film the, the drum circles, and if you can't film
Well, that's what it's about. Like when the
and
Home for Homer thing shifted into all this internet online world, yeah, we do need to kind of represent that. I think that's okay.
because the normies at home need to realize that we are not uh, not out here causing havoc. We actually pick up trash.
Yeah.
We actually plant trees. We do a lot of things. We
Yes.
actually do that. Actually, that's why the forestry people allow rainbow people to come back every year, because they actually need us to come and heal the earth. We go, I told council, like, we need to start going to places where we need to be
Yes.
to
No,
heal the
occupy
earth.
it,
Whether
yes.
where the earth need to be we go to places where the earth need to be healed. We kind of lost that sense of
That's
purpose.
what I think really happened at this gathering. I had this really radical idea. I was soaking in the hot springs after the gathering, and I had this like it was really avant-garde. It's very like taboo considered, to most people. But I had this idea. Maybe we were at that beautiful, pristine first site to pray over those bones instead of decimating that person's grave. Maybe we were there to cleanse that energy. We don't know if like somebody
And a lot of people are saying that even though that we was near a site that was had bones, that
okay.
we decided not we wasn't going to camp out. Well,
Well,
let's go here then. Um, there's a disturbance, which is I don't know what, but we're not part of it. So we're gonna go over here to the peace circle. Um, you want to show us this little circle
I
over?
don't know if we're allowed to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a medicine wheel.
Yeah, see, a lot of things of rainbow is not really allowed to be sown. But yeah, we're going to walk away from the group. We're going to take a walk through the forest because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is the beauty we get to live in all the time.
And maybe we should have done a live stream like this, walking around instead of sitting on spot.
Oh, I like it. I like this.
We just did live stream walking through the forest. So we out here in the forest, like, and when we get done, we literally synchronously move every stick that we move back to where it came from, move every rock back to where it came from, move every piece of trash, pick every trash up, and micro trash. They call it micro trashing. Yeah. And we
Micro trash.
literally, we return the earth to where it was before we even was here. And like literally, you can go back to the rainbow site, and it's like you can't even tell that there was a rainbow. there a year
And
later.
people always are saying that's part of the thing of the squabble. It's like, oh, we're destroying the land. Like, I don't think for 2 weeks, like, I'm pretty sure Plunker, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but pretty sure Plunker's even said, like, after those 2 weeks, like, out of the entire hundreds of years that place has been there, like, that's not necessarily destroy it. Yes, some things have been destroyed, but we don't overall destroy the woods. It's like a little bit of a hype to try to, like, stop people from wanting to come. So there's a lot of hype that goes on, and you have to just really radiate out your heart chakra and just try to ignore it.
Can we slow down because I have a hard time
Oh,
keeping.
you walk slow, yeah.
Especially with holding a camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I walk really slow, especially carrying a
such
camera.
a beautiful spot. And yeah, come check out my my Katim Succubus, my YouTube channel. I think I'm actually gonna stop. I think I'm gonna go set up my tent.
Okay.
So we're getting ready to do some sort of ceremony. So love you guys.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to do some peace ceremony.
Thank you so much for the interview. I hope you get lots of hits. 10,000 hits. Come on.
Come on,
Joe
everybody.
Rogan. Joe Rogan.
Everybody hit the like button to the moon.
Buy my book.
All right, so I'm gonna see this. Thank you for all the comments. I'm not going to answer any of the comments because I'm not here to really answer. But okay, thank you.